People are just calling me Gupta on the streets of Cannes now. I used to top music, dance, art, all these subjects in school. And I used to fail some of the serious subjects when I was younger. I had a deal with my dad that if I get through the best college in India, I'm going to go for fashion. If I don't, then I'll go for business studies. Hi, this is Gaurav Gupta. You're watching me on Brut.
So let's start with Can.
Okay.
What was the inspiration behind the Can looks you created this year?
We had a lot of iconic moments this year at Cannes, and we started with Ishaan Khatter, who was starring in this beautiful Indian movie called Homebound. I'm very proud of the whole Homebound team, and it was very special to actually make this India modern look for him in the Bordeaux velvet. It has these Celtic knots, which are inspired by eternity, and they go in infinity loops. Infinity happens to be my brand logo as well. So it kind of came together as Ishan's debut at Cannes. And so each look had separate inspirations. I think one of the most iconic looks that happened just last night was Aishwarya Rai. And Aishwarya Rai Bachchan wearing our velvet core gown, which was inspired by one of my Paris Fashion Week looks. And it has this galactic embroidery on it, which looks like as if the whole Milky Way cosmos is embroidered on her gown in an abstract way. I wanted to have a larger, deeper concept for Aishwarya. She's so timeless, so larger than life, and she's just iconic in every way. And we wanted to wrap her in this Indian handwoven brocade silk, which is almost like a pre-structured shawl around her, and have the Sanskrit shlokas from Bhagavad Gita on her back.
So also Halle Berry was talking about
Yes.
your.
So there was yes.
Yeah.
So there was this can started with a bit of shaky ground for us in that sense. It was actually interesting because just the day before Cannes started, it was announced that one cannot wear long trails, or one cannot be not so much nudity or revealing on the red carpet. And Halle Berry being one of the co-chairs, the main judges of Cannes this year, so she was actually going to wear one of our elaborate gowns for the opening night. But she pivoted, and then somehow she really wanted to wear the brand, and we worked tirelessly with her and did multiple fittings and made this other gown happen. This is not the gown she was supposed to wear on the first red carpet, but she wore the wine gown finally, and she loved wearing it, and she's such a special person. Even though the wine gown had a trail, so she didn't end up wearing it on the carpet. She wore it for the main show part event.
So what do you think about this new rule that suddenly came?
The thing is, I don't think I'm one to say or pass my judgment on the new rule. I think it's upon the Cannes organizers, the organizers of the film festival, to decide. I'm sure they must have thought of something and we should respect that. It's just, I think people will start respecting it more and more from next year, because this year, most of the people that we see, they were still wearing trails, etc. Their looks were pre-planned, etc. from multiple brands all over the world. So I'm sure it'll come into effect more from next year.
What do you keep in mind while creating the look? Like all your looks?
All my looks. Actually, I'm inspired by the universe, by eternity, by timelessness, by infinity. I'm really inspired by the abstract, by surrealism, by art, by architecture, by nature. By form, by formlessness. So my inspirations are very abstract, but they're kind of very spiritually rooted into ancient Indian philosophies, into futuristic fantasy, and I have these two worlds coming together. Actually, at Cannes last night itself at AMFA, we had Taraji wearing us, and she was hosting AMFA last night, and she wore one of our looks from Jyotirgamaya, our Paris collection. And Ciara, who was the key performer at AMFA, was also wearing one of our looks. In fact, coincidentally, that look has that hand-woven Sanskrit shloka brocade in that jacket in which she performed on stage at AMFA. And we had Andrea Crestia and Hannah Cross also wear us for two separate carpets at this Cannes Film Festival. And there's still 2 more days left, which is today and tomorrow. There might still be more of Gaurav Gupta at this Cannes.
Are we going to see anything tonight?
You never know. You never know. Till the time you have them on the carpet in the look, like how we knew that Halle Berry was going to wear us for the opening, you never know. But she was very gracious about it, and actually, she even talked about it to media. And, like when she said she was going to wear the Gupta gown, and a lot of people are just calling me Gupta on the streets of Cannes now.
Can you tell us who Gaurav Gupta is?
Gaurav Gupta is Gaurav Gupta is a philosophy. He's an idea. He is, he's an atom. He's a species. He's a human being. He's somebody who doesn't like to be defined in a box.
Tell us about Gaurav as a boy. What kind of dreams and interests did he have? And did they shape him as you are today, or your
Yeah,
interests changed
I
as you
think
grew?
everything in your life shapes you, and I don't think it's just this lifetime that shapes you. There are multiple lifetimes that shape who you are today. There are lots of, and your ancestors shape you. Your karmas from different lifestyles shape you. My childhood has been really special. I come from a very loving family, from a business family of steel, but very very loving, and I felt very protected. And I was always into arts. I was always drawing, making. I had sculpture, especially in school. That's why I think you see a lot of sculpted outfits from me today. I used to top music, dance, art, all these subjects in school, and I used to fail some of the serious subjects when I was younger. But then I've always been fascinated by just creating things, and my dreams since childhood I've been dreaming about being a bird, and that's why you see a lot of flight and infinity and a sense of freedom, a sense of endlessness in our couture.
So, do you remember the moment when you told your parents that I want to become a fashion designer, and how they supported you, or what was their reaction?
The thing is, I'm very lucky to have the parents that I have and the family that I have. I remember when I applied for NIFT in 1997. I know I'm much older than I look. So 1997, and then they were like, I had a deal with my dad that if I get through the best college in India, I'm going to go for fashion. If I don't, then I'll go for business studies. And luck had it so that I got through NIFT, and I was there for 3 years. Then I later went to Central St. Martin's in London. I worked with some of my dream designers like Hussein Chalian and a few others, and I did projects all over the world. So I've had I don't have any complaints. It's been brilliant. Also, I've had amazing family support from my mother, from my brothers. My younger brother is my business partner. I would not have been able to do any of this without him, without his belief in me, without him just taking the business side forward completely and being the backbone of the company.
Who was the first celebrity you designed for?
I don't remember actually. Who would it
And
be?
when?
I think. Do you guys remember when Deepika won her first Filmfare? I think 2013. She was wearing one of our gold silver gowns when she won her Filmfare. I remember Anushka Sharma wearing one of our gowns when she had just come into the industry. So I don't know who's the first celebrity as such, because at that time there was, that time we didn't have the culture of celebrity stylists so much and so much of red carpet, etc. But I do remember Deepika wearing a lot of our clothes initially. Even this cover on L'Officiel where Deepika's wearing this lehenga of ours with Ranbir Kapoor next to her when their first movie came out, I think. Yeah, they've been like, you know, they've been everything. Priyanka has won a few of our things on covers of magazines in India. I remember Aishwarya Rai wearing one of our gowns with Pharrell on the cover of Vogue India, Alia wearing us for covers of Vogue India. There's been so many. I don't remember the first one, if you ask me that.
Because you just took Deepika's name, I
Yeah.
wanted to show you this picture and I wanted to know about the story behind it. I'll just show it in the camera as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Well, this is actually on my personal Instagram, which is called Gigi Panther. So I'm also a panther, which is a panther with the wings, and I see myself as that. Deepika was a model when I started, when I had my first show in India, which was in 2006. Yes, 2006. And this in the bag, this was actually part of my final collection from Central St. Martin's, which I ended up showcasing as my finale garments in the first show I had in 2006. And Deepika is in one of those garments. And that image I just posted from just randomly on my Instagram the other day. And I remember Deepika being like, I remember meeting her backstage and like, you are like, she was all of us favorite, anyways. And we just knew how, she was just always so beautiful and charming. And she was just always elevating everything she wore. So, yeah, it was one of those moments.
Tell us about the turning point in your career as a fashion designer.
I think I've had multiple turning points. I think a big turning point has been, recently it has been Paris Couture Week. In the last 2-3 years, it has been obviously being in the official calendar of Paris Couture Week, which is a big dream come true for me and for my whole team. And having good collaborations with global artists like Beyonce, Cardi B, Ciara, Sharon Stone, Kylie Minogue. They've been like about 100 superstars that we've collaborated with globally in the last 3 years, thanks to Maison Boss, who are our strategic partners in global expansion. The turning point has also been that now I'm in my iconic stores like Harrods, Bergdorf Goodman, Neiman Marcus, Bloomingdale's in Dubai, Al Othman in Kuwait, Antonia in Milan. So we're in about 30 stores globally. So I think last 2-3 years has been like a paradigm shift at Gaurav Gupta, where we become like a global brand, and we are becoming we're expanding more and more globally. There have been other shifts. I think when I was a student at St. Martin's, just after that, I got awarded at Alta Roma Alta Moda, which is Rome Couture Fashion Week, as the future of couture by the mayor of Rome. And I remember being featured in Vogue Italy when I was in 2003, just even before I came to India. There have been points where I think some collections, some shows, our 2013 couture collection, which was our light fall collection, our sculpt collection with Lakme Finale, which was one of our turning points. So as designer, it's not just about what celebrities you're working with or what covers of magazines. It's all of it is together. There are turning points which are personal. There are turning points which are more creative to a collection, and there are turning points where a Beyonce wears you and the world sees you differently, or like Aishwarya Rai yesterday, and the world sees you and celebrates you differently as well.
So from the Gaurav who was having a deal
It's
with
a long one. Yeah.
deal with his father for Neft versus the business,
Yeah.
to now, were there any stereotypes that you had to face or any type of judgments you had to face, and how did you deal with it, if you
I
had
think, to be honest, I have been. I think more than stereotypes and judgments, it's been more like I don't think a lot of people see or know all the struggles that I would have gone through, or me and my brother and the teams would have gone through, and the way we have built this organization or this brand brick by brick, day by day, person by person, garment by garment. It's been, I think obviously have been failures. Sometimes collections don't do commercially well, and sometimes they are really popular in the media. Then you pivot, and then you learn with the market. I think the biggest challenge for me has been that I never followed a trend. I never followed the market. I never wanted to understand what the customer wants and then please the customer. I wanted to always challenge the customer and build a new culture with the customer. So I think that's been very enthralling a process, because we are like that's where we invented the sari gown, or that's when we were like, okay, we are able to, that's where how, like even 10 years back in India, you could not imagine girls to their reception wearing sculpted gowns. There's been a shift in everyone's mind. So this cultural shift for me has been, I'm very fortunate to be a part of this cultural shift and to propagate this shift more as well. So I think it's just about I like to kind of play with cultures, and I see myself more as a culturalist and an artist than just a fashion designer. And a lot of fashion designers can be that. A lot of designers and artists can be that.
Thank you for
Yeah.
speaking to Brute.
Yes. Thank you.